One of the most important roles that I have as the Minister of National Defence is to ensure that Canadian Armed Force members can come to work in an environment that fosters their excellence, where they can feel safe and supported while they do the critical work of protecting our country and its people. Since I became the Minister of National Defence last summer, I have been clear that my priority is to modernize and reform this institution so that all of our members can have access to comprehensive support and access to justice. A key part of this work involves amending the National Defence Act to address external recommendations from former Supreme Court Justice Louise Arbour and Fish. First and most notably, in response to Madam Arbour's fifth recommendation, this legislation will definitively remove the Canadian Armed Forces jurisdiction to investigate and prosecute any criminal code sexual offence committed in Canada. And as Madam Arbour recommended, this proposed legislation would provide exclusive jurisdiction to civilian authorities to investigate and to prosecute such offences. The legislation that we've introduced today actually provides a very clear legal framework for the investigation and prosecution of all of these matters. And that's why I think it's very important that we move as quickly as possible, reasonably through the parliamentary process, to get this legislation in place. And as we work towards that, we're working with all of the justice partners and with police of jurisdiction and civilian court system to ensure that the cases are dealt with appropriately. I can assure everyone, the Canadian Armed Forces and all Canadians, that we understand the need and the responsibility of the Canadian Armed Forces to provide support to all of their members who are experiencing this. In the pursuit of justice, we believe that the legislation that we've introduced today opens up new opportunities for victims to pursue justice. And it provides clarity and certainty on how to proceed. But let me acknowledge to you all, we still have much work to do. To every member of the Canadian Armed Forces, I want to say thank you for your service and your commitment to protecting and defending Canada. I want you all to know that we have heard you. We have heard that you want to serve Canada in a respectful, supportive, and safe environment. And I want to assure you all, and all who wish to serve, that we will do what is required to keep you safe. We will always do what it takes to protect you from misconduct and ensure that you have access to justice. And together, we are building a modern, inclusive, and supportive military culture. And we are reforming our institutions so that they meet the standards and needs of victims and survivors. Because it's the right thing to do for each and every member of the Canadian Armed Forces.